ዘረኝነትንና ፖሊስ ብሩታሊቲን በፍጹም እንደማይቋቋም አቋም ወስዶ በተለያዩ ሚዲያ ቻነልስ ባሉን የሚዲያ ቻነልስ በዌብሳይታችን በፌስቡክ በተለያዩ ሚዲያዎች አቋሙን ገልጿል። ማለት ለመቋቋመው የማይገባ እጅግ በጣም አጸያፊና አስነዋሪ የሆነ በራሳችን ህይወትና በልጆቻችን ህይወት ላይ አደጋን የጋረጠ ችግር መፈጠሩን ተመልክቶ ኢትዮጵያ ኮሚኒቲ አቋም ወስዷል። ይህን ነገር ማንኛውም ኢትዮጵያዊ በዚህ ሀገር የሚኖር ኢትዮጵያዊም ሆነ ሀገር ውስጥ ያለው ኢትዮጵያዊ በፍጹም በትክክል ሊቀበለው የማይገባ ጉዳይ ነው። ለልጆቻችንም ለራሳችንም ስንል እና ለዛሬ በእንግድነት የመጡትን ይህን ጉዳይ ኢንተርቴይን ለማድረግ የመጡትን ወጣቶች እንኳን ደህና መጣችሁ ላለው መልካም የውይይት ጊዜ እንዲሆንላችሁ እመኛለሁ። በጣም አመሰግናለሁ።
እሺ አሁን ወደ ሶፊያ እንሄዳለን። ሶፊያ ፕሮግራሙን ትመራለች። ቴንክ ዩ አቶ ዘር።
እሺ ታንክ ዩ። ቀጥሎ ፕሮግራማችን ከወጣቶች ጋር ነው የምናደርገው። ስለዚህ በአማርኛና በእንግሊዘኛ እየቀላቀልን ነው። ያው የኢትዮጵያ ኮሚኒቲ ቋንቋ አማርኛ ነው፣ ግን ደግሞ ዋናው ሰዎች ራሳቸውን ኤክስፕሬስ ማድረግ እንዲችሉ ስለሆነ በሁለቱም ቋንቋ እየተፈራረቀን እናደርጋለን። ግን መጀመሪያ ይሄንን ፕሮግራም ሳስብ ያነጋገርኳቸው እና መታችሁ ተናገሩ ያልኳቸው ወጣቶችን ነው። ይሄንን ያደረኩበት ምክንያት ስለዚህ ጉዳይ ስነጋገር ከተለያየ ሰው ጋራ እያለቀሱ ያናገሩኝ ወጣቶች ናቸውና በጣም በጣም ሆነዋል። እርግጥ ሁላችንም ሆነናል፣ ግን እነሱ ደግሞ ከኛ በላይ በጣም ሆነዋል። እንደገና ደግሞ በተለያየ ቦታዎች ኢንቮልቭድ ናቸው ቬሪ ክሎዝሊ እና አንደኛ እንዲህ ሲናገሩ ህርታቸውን የተጎዱትን ሂል ማድረግ እንዲጀምር፣ ሁለተኛ ደግሞ እኛም ሁላችንም ብዙ ነገር አለና እንዲያስረዱንም ጭምር ነው። So I was just saying that we are today's program is with the youth, and that's because when I talked with many people about what happened regarding that George Floyd, it's only though every one of us is hurting, it's only the youth who talked to me while crying. So I really want to bring the youth together so that you can start the process of healing, and at the same time educate us all on what's going on and how we can channel all these emotions into something really, really meaningful. So I'll just start now. Today we have with us Johnny Fikru, Fandisha Tababa, Habesha Manal, and Joyce, I think. I'm not sure if she's here or not. I will give it over to each one of them to first introduce themselves, and then we will go to the question and answer. After that, we will open it up for 10 minutes for Q&A. So Johnny, can you introduce yourself?
Salam, Ndemen Walachu. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Johnny Fikru. I am a child of the diaspora. And I started coming to the Ethiopian Community Center by volunteering at the gala. Every year I would just volunteer. And I've also started coming to the Sunday breakfasts with my family, at least once a month. So I feel very connected to the community and looking forward to being more connected. This past couple months with coronavirus, I've been also helping Ethiopian elders grab groceries, and that's been with the help of the Ethiopian Community Center. And so, yeah, this is a community that means a lot to me, and so I'm happy to be here. And that will be my intro, and I'll pass it over to Fandisha.
Hi everyone, I'm Fandisha. I was born and raised in Seattle, a few blocks from the community center. I'm just heavily invested in community wherever I live. So whether that's here or in another city, I like to kind of just get involved and especially provide any sort of like resources and tools that Black youth can use to kind of just move up and kind of get the access to opportunities that other children get. And then as of lately, just being back in Seattle, I've just been more involved in the Ethiopian community and trying to kind of like bridge this gap between the Ethiopian and the Black community. I'm really like kind of invested in that, and also just kind of helping our youth like understand where that gap comes from and like what we can do to kind of bridge that. So yeah. Let's see. Manal, maybe go ahead.
Hi everyone, my name is Manal. I was born in Ethiopia, raised in Seattle. So, you know, the Seattle Ethiopian Community and the Community Center has like a really like a place in my heart. At one point or another, you know, we've all crossed paths, and as a youth in the community, the Ethiopian Community Center, the community here in Seattle has always been just like a source of support in a place where, you know, there are people like further in their path in life who are embracing youth with open arms. So I'm here for all of this. For the last 10 years, actually a bit more, I've been doing anti-racism work, particularly fighting around anti-Blackness, both outside of our community, meaning outside of the Black community, and within the Black community. And when I say Black, I'm referring to African people, African diaspora. And so we have to work on that as a community. And thank you for letting me be here.
Pleasure to have you. Avisha?
Hi, everyone. I've been on so many Zoom calls, but I always forget to unmute, so I always have issues. Salam Tena Sirling. My name is Abisha. I have been involved with the Ethiopian Community Center for, way back in the day when Namarinya classes, back when it used to be on Union. So, as Manal said, it has a special place in my heart, and I think there's no way I can get away with it because my name is Abisha. So I feel like it's a match made in heaven. But I currently work for the city of Seattle, which is a very conflicting and really difficult place to be right now, because my work and my passion has always been in community. It's not something that I felt like I was planning to be in, and so but currently trying to use whatever position and skills and power I have to really make as much noise and shift within my role, as well as just organizing. So in the last couple of months, I've been doing a lot of COVID-related work, and I'm just trying to be involved in as much community efforts as possible. I think that's mostly it for me right now.
Thank you. Do we have Joyce on the line?
Joyce is not, she probably is, but she'll step in, I think.
Okay, so we will move on. So my first question is to Johnny. And Johnny, after witnessing the death of George Floyd, so many of us are hurting. We have seen protests, riots, and the question is, what's really the best way to channel all this emotion and anger and really the desire to have this cause to something meaningful and that can outlast this protest? Because when I have this conversation with a number of youth and other people too, people ask, okay, what next? Why do we have these protests now and then when someone dies at the hands of the police and then it goes down and we kind of forget about it and then someone dies? So what's really the best way to continue this so that we can contribute either our expertise or our time, but whatever we can contribute in a way that can be more meaningful. So I would appreciate if you can answer that. I know it's a huge question. It can take a day, but it would be great if you can just give us the highlights.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for the question. I definitely want to say people are fed up, and it's not just George Floyd. Like this country has like a history of, killing unarmed people, and also to say that it's so much more, because right now we're also living in a global pandemic of coronavirus, and we also have millions of people in the state who are unemployed, and we also have people having to pay rent who have lost their job because of coronavirus. And so what you're having is like a multitude of different things that's actually like making people, frustrated, angry. And when they see the footage of what happened to George Floyd and, the stories of like Breonna Taylor, people want to do something. And that's why you've been seeing these last couple of days, people have been taking it to the streets and have been marching and protesting. And I definitely want to stress that we're seeing things work. Things are coming out of just marching and protesting right now. For example, the cops that murdered George Floyd are now arrested. We're seeing like policy proposals coming up. And I actually have a slideshow. I'm wondering if I can share the screen. Let me see if I can click on this. Okay, so in terms of like what we can do as the community center, especially in Seattle, and kind of across the country, there's like this huge push to defunding the police. And so I have a slide right here to showcase the city's proposed budget. And so this is how much the city invests in one second. So this is a chart of the city of Seattle's proposed budget for 2020. So as you can see, like if you look at the police department and you look at the police pension, you're looking at the city investing $400 million. But then when you look at something like housing, $69 million. And you can keep going to look at, this is how much we invest in different things. And I'm a big believer that the budget that you make reflects the priorities you have. And so what kind of priorities does this city have if we're investing almost $1 billion in supporting this? And I also have another chart. I was looking at affordable housing because I think that's a pretty important issue, especially in the city. And so I know that the Ethiopian Community Center got a big grant to support the affordable housing. And so if you look down here on my cursor, you see the Ethiopian Village. They got about $10.7 million in investments to help the community, which is really great. And I'm wondering if we were able to reallocate funds, we would, potentially have more money to like build more affordable housing, which I think is something that like our community needs. I think someone was talking about like an underground parking lot. If we had more money, I bet we could make something like that. And so in terms of like what we can do, I'd say is definitely like keep watching what people are doing, because things are happening at record speeds. Like this is pretty unprecedented. This is kind of the civil rights moment of our lives. And so I would say continue to support what's happening on the ground. And I also want to hold that it's the coronavirus and it's not safe, but also you don't have to be marching. You can, financially invest in communities that are actually doing the work. And I'm happy to share with you like links or suggestions of who to put in. But yeah, so there's a multitude of different ways to support the community. I would definitely say, yeah, get connected with what's happening, talk to trusted leaders in the community, and probably talk like it's funny that you said youth, because I don't feel like a youth, but all the youth in this chat, I feel like you should get connected because we got a lot to say. And I will stop sharing the camera and let the question go.
Okay. Fandisha, I also saw you shake your head. What do you prefer to be referred as? Sorry if you don't want to be referred to as youth.
Yeah, I think we do need to kind of make that distinction of youth and young adults.
Okay, young adults.
Because things do kind of impact us a little differently. Okay. And so some of what might work for some of the younger kids and some of the youth might not necessarily have as greater as an impact on some young adults or maybe older young adults. Yes. But that's beside the point. I wanted to kind of add on to what Johnny said. With coronavirus still going on and us in the midst of like a health pandemic, it's not, I can understand why a lot of people are very hesitant to go out and kind of join those who are on the front line. But I kind of encourage people to also realize like it takes a lot more than just those people on the front line to kind of make this movement move forward and to see the changes that are happening and will happen in the future. And that really does start with funding. There are a lot of funds locally, nationally, that go towards small community organizations, grassroots organizations. There are a lot of funds that go to bail funds for a lot of these protesters and those folks who are on the front line. A lot of funds that go to support for supplies for these frontliners out there, protesters. There are a lot of funds that you can donate to. And then also with that, because we are in the midst of Corona and a lot of people's employment and income has been impacted by that, you can also contribute to this movement by calling your local and state officials, demanding justice, demanding that they defund the police department and demilitarize the police department, and also demanding that they hold the police officers accountable that are executing our Black men and women in plain sight. So calls, emails, those make a huge impact. A lot of the changes that we are seeing is because people are online, people are making these calls, making these emails, and literally not stepping off of these people and trying to hold them accountable. So I encourage you, if you don't feel comfortable leaving your house, that's okay. Every part helps in this movement. And I'd also like to add that talk to your peers, talk to your children, talk to your grandchildren, your nieces, your nephews, because this is impacting a lot of people in a lot of different ways. I know for a lot of young people, we have social media at our fingertips, and every 5 seconds we are watching people get murdered in front of us. And that doesn't matter what sort of neighborhood you live in or how great of a household you were brought up in. When you have access to that social media, it is right there in plain sight for you. And that is traumatizing. As Black people, we already have to deal with so many hardships and just structural things that are placed in front of us, that adding this trauma of seeing people being murdered and executed right in front of us, and then seeing no justice coming behind that, that is traumatizing, and that does have long-lasting effects. So please speak to your kids, speak to your grandkids, your nieces, your nephews, because you guys might learn something from one another. You guys might have a lot of similar ideas on how to play your part in this. So yeah, that's my part.
Thank you, Fandisha. So we need to move on, but before we do, I just would like to summarize this in a very few sentences. ስለዚህ ጆኒ አንድ በጣም ኢምፓክትፉል ሆነ ያሳየን ባጀት አለ የሲቲ ኦፍ ሲያትል 2020 እንዳያችሁት ወደ 352 ሚሊዮን ለፖሊስ ነው የሚሄደው ከዛ ግን ለሃውሲንግ ለሌሎቹ ሶሻል ሲስተሞች ከዛ በጣም ያነሰ ነውና አንድ እሱ ላይ እየሰሩ ነው ግን ምንድነው አጠቃላይ ይሄ አሁን የተደረገው ፕሮቴስት ለውጥ ያመጣ መሆኑን ነው ሰዎቹ ከመታሰራቸው ባሻገር ፖሊሲም ላይ ቼንጅ እንዳለ ነው ከዛ በተረፈ የተጨመረው መውጣት ባንችል እንኳን ከቻለን እንውጣ ግን ካልቻለን ደግሞ ብር በማዋጣትም በጣም ብዙ ሙቭመንቱን መጥቀም እንደምንችል ነውና ይሄንን ጆኒ if you can please share the different links on the chat then everyone will know where to contribute or how to contribute and to which organization. So the next question is to Manal. I know Manal has to leave at 1. So I will go to your question, which is, yeah, so we all know that racism is embedded in the education system. And because of that, the kids who are living in predominantly colored or Black communities do not have the quality education that they need to have a good place in our society. And this has to do with both budget and policies. So can you tell us a little bit more how this affects policy and budget affect the education system and what we can do as a community to influence those? Manal.
All right. Yeah, thank you. Honestly, I just want to start by saying in this short span, we're trying to do a lot in this little bit of time. So for the advice that was given, like, hey, like look up these resources and continue this conversation and the learning outside of this, Zoom call, please do so. And I would be more than willing to share resources because understanding what's actually happening is going to take a lot of work and work that we all need to do. And that was like a multifaceted question in terms of how policy impacts education. It holds folks accountable and is meant to present a standard, a lens through which everything is molded and implemented, right? The issue with policy is we can have anti-discrimination policies, racial equity policies, anti-racism policies. If folks don't have the lens and the analysis to interpret them as they were intended, they can distort what that policy was meaning to achieve, and folks just go rogue. And that's another reason why it's important that you put the right people in place that won't distort the meaning or misinterpret what these policies are meant to achieve for our Black and brown children. One way to do that is, of course, to vote, of course, to support youth, support young adults, or anybody in the community, really, in creating pathways to certain positionalities, to certain professions, honestly, because a lot of times there will be key players, for example, across an education system, whether it's on the state level or local or whatever, or depending on the institution, who are there the ones making the decisions. So actually like supporting folks and uplifting folks from our community to be in that position, using your voice, using your vote, using your support. Those are ways. Can you go back to, I didn't write down the question as you were saying it. I just remembered policy and education.
Yeah, and budget too.
Budget, yes. The American system in itself was rigged to ensure that schools in predominantly Black communities would not be receiving the same resources and funding as schools in more affluent communities. There are numerous structures that lead to that, down from, you know, property values and housing to, you know, PTA participation and schools being dependent on that. Again, there are many ways, but I think the important key is to know that it isn't by happenstance, it isn't accidental, it's designed this way. It is very intentional. It's not by accident that this happens in every single community. And just everyone understand that a solid next step, I would say, even though it's a bit deviating from your question, I'm just looking at the time, I would say to invest in internalized racial oppression learning and healing circles in our community, as well as internalized intraracial superiority, you know, learning around that. Because realistically, through the education system and American education period, whether it's like what's reinforced in society, what it is that we are learning through the media, what is being reinforced, what is our education teaching us. The step one is trying to make people like us ourselves, hate ourselves, dislike ourselves, devalue ourselves. So we in turn either A, receive racial oppression, not realizing it's that, because somewhere inside we've internalized that we deserve it, or internalizing messages around all of this being an issue of people that look like us. So just dissociate so you're not that type of Black person and you'll be fine. But all of us, all of your kids were Black. There's nothing else. Do you get what I'm saying? So that's all I would like to say. I don't want to take up all the time. We only have 5 minutes, but thank you for letting me say my piece.
Thank you, Manal. Thank you. Yeah, it's true. We are Black, and all our kids are Black. Aziz and her team, the whole PR committee, had organized a session, if you remember, last year about being Black in America. And we touched on a few of those points on how we identify ourselves as Ethiopians in America. So yeah, that's well said. Thank you. We don't have much time now, so I will go next to the question about criminal justice. And really the question is, we know, again, from the history of this country that after slavery, mass incarceration had really affected so many Blacks, and the criminal justice system is rigged in such a way that so many Black kids were incarcerated for so long because of that system. So question is, again, what can we do? And what's really the way to look at that system and try to see how it's affecting Black kids and the Black community in general, and how we as a community can really make any changes, even if it's a drop in the pool. So this question goes to Abesha, and then all of you can chime in, but it will have to be a sentence or two. Abesha.
I think first I want to acknowledge that in a lot of these conversations, we have to keep two things at the focus of it, which is, you know, one, that we are on Indigenous land, so Native folks that have been on this, so we benefit from that and their oppression. And then second, that we, you know, a lot of the privileges and the benefits that we get comes from Black folks fighting in this country for centuries, at least 500 years. And so I want to make sure that we're centering on those two things. In terms of, and in both those things, both those communities, and counting myself in the Black diaspora, are deeply impacted by racist injustice systems. And I think we forget that it's not just like the police at their policing and that's how we get involved. Like the police system, the criminal justice system, criminal injustice system is involved in every kind of point of our lives. So, you know, they're in our schools, they're the prosecutors, they're the judges. And so I think one thing that, as Johnny mentioned, obviously the police are at the center of it, but the prosecutors are, and we have power there to elect and to decide who, and really making sure that the people that we elect in those positions actually have the understanding and the perspective that our communities need and the ability to make decisions. And I think we forget that. And I think what I want to also center it on is like reform that hasn't helped us at all. This country has reformed its way to keep the same system going. And so how do we think about, you know, changing it fundamentally from the ground up, from the root of it, so that we're doing things differently. There's a lot of work around, you know, what it looks like to think about a world without police, think about a world without jails, think about a world where our communities and those resources are actually getting to the people that need it. And I'm seeing that on, you know, when I'm out in the streets, you see free food, you see free, you know, people helping each other, really supporting different ways of living, which is, you know, we never imagined that, because we're used to like thinking that small changes are going to help. But I think in this time, radical change is needed. And I think my biggest thing is we really need to make sure that when we talk about criminal justice system, that we're actually taking ideas and taking leadership from people that have been impacted from that system. I think they have a clear understanding of how it's harming, because they've been, you know, they have been in the inside. So whether that's prison or jail, it's a very different experience. So I just want to make sure that, you know, we're not making solutions for other people. We're making solutions for people that are impacted. Same thing with, you know, when we talk about Black freedom or liberation or Undenet, we need to be the ones leading that. And how do we do that? I think there's, as a couple of folks mentioned, there's different ways to do that. If you're a lawyer, how do you get involved and not perpetuate the same, you know, harm that the system wants us to? I was in conversations with a lawyer and he was like, this is how we changed it. And I was like, have you talked to anybody that has been imprisoned or like, you know, experienced the criminal justice system? You know, I think we really have to be careful about how we're trained and how we're socialized, because it really impacts like those decision-making and those policies. So I think there's a lot of different ways that we can get involved, as simple as donating to, you know, bail funding, you know, writing to your elected officials saying, don't prosecute these protesters, right? They are trying to, we benefit from them being on the front lines. And so making sure that those folks don't get prosecuted, because once you become in contact with the criminal justice system, it ruins your life in many ways. And, you know, getting involved in making sure that our schools don't have police officers, making sure that, you know, we put people in places that are aligned with our values, our mission, our vision of liberation and freedom, and really changing it from, you know, how we need to fix it a little bit, but really fixing it from the ground up completely. And I think I really want us to be working from a place, my hope at least, is that we work from a place of possibility and abundance rather than, oh, that's not gonna happen. I think we're seeing that kind of thinking has held us back for a really long time, and that gets us into this reform mindset, which doesn't help at all. Because if reform has helped us, we wouldn't be in this situation that we are in. So I'll stop pontificating and get off my soapbox.
Thank you, Abisha. Fandisha, do you want to add to this very quickly?
I mean, I think I said this before, and I just feel like I always have to emphasize this. Like, us as the Ethiopian community have to understand that this is our problem also. It is not our problem once it affects someone from our community. It's a problem the minute that it affected a Black person. And we have to stand in this fight with them. Because at the end of the day, like Abisha said, and I think Johnny might have said it, I know I said it, we are here and we are able to have the opportunities that we have because of the Black struggle and beyond. Like Abisha said, we are on indigenous land, and we get to reap the benefits of the struggle that those indigenous people had to go through. And so I really do encourage you all to really just understand that this struggle does not stop and end just with Black people. And it just doesn't mean as soon as a cop gets arrested that it's over. It goes beyond that. We need convictions, we need sentences, we need different people in higher positions, and we need people that look like us on the front lines. I also would encourage you all, allies are great, they are amazing, we need them to move forward, but it is not our job to applaud and give a pat on the back to anyone who isn't Black that is speaking up on behalf of Black lives. That is their job as a human being, to speak up on the injustices that we are facing as a people. So please, I encourage you not to go and applaud those who are speaking up. They are supposed to speak up. They are supposed to do their part. And you shouldn't feel, especially as a Black person, like you have to beg people to hop on this movement. If they don't, they don't. Leave them there and work with those that do. Because those who are working together, the allies that are helping us in this movement, are really here for the greater good and are really here to see a change and get the justice that we deserve as a people. And so, yeah, I just encourage everyone to really understand that this issue is an issue that impacts all of us heavily. And whether or not you view yourself as a Black person, your children here in America live the Black life. And that is just the reality. We live a Black life, that we don't have the luxury of saying, oh, please don't hurt me, I'm Ethiopian. That doesn't apply to us. So just keep that in mind when you have conversations. Do not fall into the propaganda of looters and rioters are taking away from the message. We need those. If that's how we're gonna be heard, then let that be how we are heard. Because those big corporations, those big companies, those big businesses, they will be okay. You know, they will be fine. The rioters and looters, that is beyond the point. Do not focus on that and do not let that propaganda distract you from what the bigger picture is here. So yeah, sorry, I got a little.
Thank
Can
you.
I just add, Sophia, there's a Word document, a Google Doc, with a compilation of resources, different kinds of resources. So if you want to donate, if you want to protest, if you want to, we'll keep adding to that, but that's a good place to reference or check out or add if you, this is just me and Joyce's kind of knowledge. So we encourage everyone to add and use that as a place. And maybe we can send that out as a follow-up for folks.
Yeah, that will be great. Yeah, so thank you so much. I'll have to close now.
Sophia, before you close, can I ask a question? And I'm happy to yield my time.
No, okay.
Next session.
You'd like to have time to donate.
Yes, I donate time to the young adults. Sorry.
Yeah, adults.
It's really wonderful what you're doing. It's wonderful that you have this perspective. And yes, I think we all need to be present and available and engaged. One of the questions I have for you is, do you have resource lists for law firms, nonprofit lawyers? Because I think that is an area, and that's an area that we really need to develop. And the second is policymakers or policy advocates. in terms of
I can take it. So your question is, are there a list of law firms and lawyers that are, in what ways for?
So both, you mentioned earlier bail funds, but I think beyond bailing out folks that are involved in either the protests and are in jail or wrongfully so, or for minor things, I think we need to develop an area of legal representation for them.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good
one. But the second is we also need to really work on at the policy level. So do we have folks that really look at what policies need to come to the lawmakers? And are those policies favorable to our communities?
I can touch on it and let everybody else add in too. So there is an organization called the Lawyers, oh my gosh, I'm forgetting all of a sudden, the Lawyers Guild, and they're actually one of the resources that when folks are out protesting, they can call for representation, and so you can donate there, you can support there. I'm more knowledgeable of some of the resources that exist for like for folks that are in prison. So the Columbia Law Firm, they do a lot of work with folks in prison, and I think they may support folks in jail as well. So those are the two main resources, and there's a number of lawyers both in our community and at large that are doing a lot of incredible work. But those are some of them. In terms of policy, I think policy is a really important piece of the kind of factor, but it's not the only. I think I just want us to consider how things change too. So I think there's different buckets. So policy is one of them, and there's other ways. Like a lot of our community-based organizations do incredible work on the ground, and those are actually the organizations that are pushing for policy, and that's where the innovation and genius comes from before it gets to the state, the city, county, wherever. But one of them is obviously Girmay, obviously Tonight is CTAC, I believe, or Tukwila. And then Girmay is in King County. Lydia is in Federal Way. There's a number of folks in Olympia at different levels. They may not be Habesha, but Rebecca Saldana is from the community. She's a huge advocate. I know she's worked with ECS around the senior building. So that's like another piece. And she's also really involved in prison abolition and reforming, and really knowledgeable in policy. So there, I can add more of those resources there, but those are some of the folks that I know. Obviously, Nikita Oliver, who has been on the front lines and working, year round, and a lot of the youth that she organizes with, as well as the People's Party. So they are a lot of the folks that are pushing for radical policy transformation.
Okay, we really have to close now. Thank you, all of you, for sharing your thoughts, your emotions. Thank you so much. We really needed to hear this. ወደ አማርኛ ለመመለስ በጣም በጥቂቱ ከተለያዩት ኮንቨርሴሽኖች የወጣ አንደኛው ቦት የማድረግ መብታችንን እንጠቀም ነው። ቦት ካደረግን በተለያየ ሌቭል የምንፈልጋቸው እኛን የሚመስሉ ኮሚኒቲውን አንደርስታንድ የሚያደርጉ ሰዎች ለውጥ የማምጣት ፖዚሽን ላይ ስለሚሆኑ ለውጥ ያመጣሉ እና እሱም በጣም ጥቅሙን አይተን ማድረግ አለብን። የኔ ቦት ምን ለውጥ ያመጣል ብለን ማሰብ የለብንም። የሁሉም ሰው ቦት ኮሌክቲቭሊ ነው ለውጥ የሚያመጣው፣ የኛንም ጨምሮ ማለት ነው። ሌላው የተነሳው ፈንዲሻ ያለችው በጣም እኔ ጋር የተሰማኝ ልጆቻቸው ጥቁር ናቸው የሚለው ነው። እሱ እውነት እንደሆነ ሆኖ ግን መጨመር የምፈልገው እኛም ጥቁር ነን፣ ሁላችንም ጥቁር ነን። ስለዚህ ኩሩ ኢትዮጵያዊን ብንሆን ጥቁር ኢትዮጵያዊ ነን። ስለዚህ ይሄንን ነገር አያይዞ ማየት ያስፈልጋል በተለይ ልጆቹ ኮንፊውዝድ እንዳይሆኑ ቤት ውስጥ ሌላ ካልቸር ውጭ ሌላ ካልቸር ስለሚያዩ እነሱን ለማስተማር እኛ ቀድመን ራሳችንን ኤዱኬት ማድረግ አለብንና በተቻለ መጠን በመንችለው መንገድ በሙሉ ይሄንን ነገር ለመረዳት መሞከር አለብን አቃለሁኝ በጣም ብዙ ጥያቄ እንዳለ ግን እሁድለት እንደገና ሌላ ፕሮግራም ስለተዘጋጀ ይሄንን በተመለከተ ሰዓቱንና ዲቴሉን በሙሉ እናዚህ በኋላ ይናገራሉ ግን ጥያቄያችንን ይዘን ለሚቀጥለው ሳምንት እንደገና ዲስከስ ማድረግ እንችላለን አሁን ወደ ጸጋ መልሳለሁ
እሺ ቴንክ ዩ ሶፊያ እንግዶቻችንም ጥሩ ውይይት ነበረ አሁን ከዚህ በመቀጠል ያው እንደሚታወቀው የኮቪድ-19 የወረርሽኝ አሁንም መካከላችን አለ እና በዚህ ውስጥ ያለፉ ኮሚኒቲ ሜምበሮቻችን የነሱን ተሞክሮ ለመወያየት መስመር ላይ ያሉ ይሄንን ውይይት ምትመራለን ዶክተር አስኳል ጌታነህ ነች ወደ ዶክተር አስኳል መልሷል ዶክተር አስኳል
እሺ በጣም አመሰግናለሁ የኢትዮጵያ ኮሚኒቲ ሴንተር ይሄንን በማዘጋጀቱ ሶስት ሰዎች አይደንቲፋይ አድርገው ሁለቱ ሰዎች ኮቪድ ይዟቸው ከኮቪድ የዳኑ አንደኛዋ ከኮቪድ እንደተያዘች በመልክቱ ወስና ከሱም እንደዳነች ሶስት ሰዎች ቀርበዋል ራሄል አብርሃም መስመር ላይ ያለሽ ይመስለኛል yes
hello yes
okay great hi ጥበበ መንገሻ መስመር ላይ ያለ ራሄል ሁለት ራሄሎች አሉን ዛሬ ራሄል ቀጣወንዱ
አለሁኝ
great አቶ ጥበበ እንግዲህ
አለ I think አንሚት አደረኩት ጥበበ ይሰማል
great okay
ይሰማኛል
እሺ በጣም አመሰግናለሁ ሶስታችሁም ያታችሁ የሚጠቅመው እንግዲህ ያንዳንዳችሁ በተለያየ መንገድ ነው ኮቪድ የተከሰተባችሁ እና ያንን የተከሰተባችሁን ምልክቶች ስሜቱን ምን ሪስክ እንደነበራችሁ እንዴት ደግሞ እንደተከላከላችሁት ደግሞ በጣም ከባድ የሆነባችሁ ነገር ምን እንደነበረ ከራሄል አብርሃም እንጀምራለን ራሄል I think 4 minutes
I want to start by just saying አማርኛ እና በእንግሊዝኛ እየደባለኩኝ ነው ስለምናገር I just have to apologize for that up front እኔ እናቴና ወንድሜና እህቴ አራታችን ነው ያዘን ማርች 22 ላይ ወደ ኒውዮርክ ሄድኩኝ እህቴ ታማ እና እዛ ስደርስ ከ3 ቀን በኋላ አራታችንም እዛ አብረን ነበርን እና ከ3 ቀን በኋላ አራታችንም ልዩ symptoms አሳየን ግን መጀመሪያ ወደ ሆስፒታል ያስወሰደ ምን ነበር እናቴ በጣም ታመመች she had mostly diarrhea and vomiting ነበረ እና እሱ በጭራሽ ማለት ኮቪድ አልመሰለንም ነበረ እና immediately ወደ ሆስፒታል ወሰድናት ያኔ 24 ሰዓት የሚፈጅ ነበር አሁንም እንደሱ ነው I think 24 ሰዓት ይፈጃል ሪዛልቱ እስከሚነገር እዛም ያለን ሆስፒታል እሷን እየጠበቅን ሙሉ ቀን ነበርች እዛ ወንድሜ መታመም ጀመረ mostly እሱ ግን ልዩ አይነት ነበር he had a fever በጣም ደከመ እና መተንፈስ ሁሉ አቃተው እና ደግሞ sore throat ያዘው እና እሱንም ይዤ ሄድኩኝ ወደ ሆስፒታል በነጋታው ሁለቱም ኮቪድ እንደያዛቸው ኮንፈርም ተደረጉ እኔ ያኔ ማርች ላይ ብዙ it was not easy to get tested ስለዚህ እኔ ለራሴ ቴስት አልተደረኩኝም ግን የኔ ሲምፕቶም ልክ እንደ ወንድሜ ነበረ ታናሽ እህቴ ያኔ ልክ ኪሞቴራፒ ጀምራ ነበርና እሷም የሷ አልመሰለን ነበር ግን ፊቨር ያዛት እና እሷም ካልጋ መውጣት አቃታት እና አራታችን ለየብቻ ማነስ ሲምፕተም ነበርን in any case አይሶሌት አደረግን መድኃኒት የለውም ስለዚህ መድኃኒት መውሰድ አልችልም ነበር mostly just rest እና ውሃ መጠጣት ብቻ ነበር እና ደግሞ የብሪዚንግ ኤክሰርሳይዝ ማድረግ ነበረብን the most affected ወንድሜና ታናሽ እህቴ ነበሩ እኔም ግን በጣም ድካም ነበረኝ so basically that was the symptom ከዛን ጀምረን በቃ አይሶሌት ማድረግ ብቻ ነበርን እንጂ ሌላ ሰው አናገኝም for at least 3 weeks we didn't see anybody we just did not get out of the house and now we have just continued that way
thank you Rahel አቶ ጥበበ
እሺ እኔ ኮቪድ መሆኑን ለሁለት ሳምንት ድካም ኃይለኛ ድካም ነበረኝ ግን ኮቪድ መሆኑን ምንም አይነት ጥርጣሬ አልነበረኝም በዚህ በሁለት ሳምንት ጊዜ ውስጥ መስሪያ ቤት በዚሁ በኮቪድ ምክንያት ተዘግቶ እቤት ነበርኩኝ ያው ቤት ከባለቤቴ ጋር ራሳችንን ከፐብሊክ እየጠበቀን ቤት ውስጥ ነበር ያው ግሮሰሪ ሲያስፈልገን ወደ ግሮሰሪ እንሄድ ነበር ግሮሰሪ የሄድንበት ቦታ አንድ ያው ካስኮ ነበረ እንግዲህ ኬት በኩል መጥቶ ሊይዘኝ እንደቻለ የማውቀው ነገር የለኝም በርግጥ እንግዲህ ሳስብ የሄድኩበት ቦታ ካስኮ ስለነበር ምናልባት እዛ ይሆናል የሚል ነው የተሰማኝና ሲምፕተሙ ምንድነው እኔ ላይ በጣም ገዝፎ የታየው ድካም ነው ይደክመኛል በጣም ይደክመኛል በቀመጥም ይደክመኛል በተኛም ይደክመኛል ይሄ ስሜት ነበር በጣም እንትን ያለው ከሁለት ሳምንት በኋላ መስሪያ ቤት ተከፈተና የመጀመሪያ ቀን መሄድ ግድ ስለነበረብኝ ስራ ሄድኩኝ ማለት ነው ስራ ላይ ሄጄ እስከ ሚድዴይ ድረስ በቃ በጣም ድካሙ እየጨመረ መንቀሳቀስ ሁሉ እስከሚያቅተኝ ከዛ በኋላ እዛው ስራ ቦታ ላይ ሁሉ አስመለሰኝ አጥወለወለኝ እና በዚህ ሁኔታ ላይ ያለው የኔን መጨነቅ ያየ የስራ ባልደረባ አሞሃል ለምን ቼክ አትደረግም ምናምን አለና ሐሳብ ሰጠኝ እኔ ቴምፕሬቸር የለኝም የብሪዚንግ ፕሮብሌም ስለሌለኝ ከዚህ በፊትም ሌላ የሚያመኝ ነገር ስለሌለ ይሄ ነው ብዬ አላወኩም ጊዜው ወቅቱ የጾም ስለነበረ በርግጥ የጾም ድካም ይሆን የሚል በውስጤ ስለነበረ አላሰብኩም ግን መጨረሻ ላይ አለቆች ሰምተው ከኤችአር ጋር ተነጋግረው ትንሽ ረፍት እንዳደርግ ወደ ቤት ላኩኝ ማለት ነው ቤት ስመጣ ለባለቤቴ ሁኔታውን ነገርኳት አንድ ሁለት ሶስት ቦታ ክሊኒክ ቴስት እንድደረግ ደዋወል መጨረሻ ላይ አንድ ቦታ ሪፈር አረጉን እዛ ሄድን እዛ ዶክተሮቹም ያው የኮቪድ ቴስት ለማድረግ እንደመጣው መጀመሪያውኑ ነው የነገርኳቸው ኦኬ ቴስት ተደረጋለህ አሉ ሲምፕተምስ ጠይቁኝ እኔ የሚሰማኝ ሲምፕተም ነገርኳቸው ሽንቴ ላይ ያው ሽንቴ ከለሩ በጣም ተቀይሯል አንድ እሱ ነው ሁለተኛ ኃይለኛ ድካም አለኝ ይሄንን ነው የነገርኳቸው ስለዚህ ምንም ኮቪድ ይሆናል ብለው አላሰቡም ጠቅላላ ጀነራል ምርመራ አንድ 3 ሰዓት ያህል አካሄዱ ኤክስሬይ ደም ሽንት ሁሉንም ነገር ቼክ አደረጉኝ የኮቪድ ሪዛልቱ ወዲያው ስለማይሰጥ ያው ወደ ቤት ሂድ ለማንኛውም ቤት አንድ ቀን ረፍና ስራ እንዲያውም ስራ ግባ ነው የተባልኩት እና ግን በጣም ስላመመኝ ያን ዕለት ከክሊኒክ ከተመለስኩ በኋላ መነሳትም አልቻልኩም ጧት ቤት ዋልኩ በሁለተኛው ቀን ክሊኒኩ ራሱ ደውሎ በቫይረሱ ፖዚቲቭ ነህ የሚል መልስ ሰጡኝ ማለት ነው ከዛ በኋላ እንግዲህ ህመሙ እየጠነከረ መጣ ማስታወክ ጀመረኝ ምግብ ከለከለኝ ማስታወክ ብቻ ሳይሆን ዳይሪያም ነበረብኝ ሲያስታውከኝ በጣም ኃይለኛ ግፊት ስላለ በቃ ራሴን በጣም ያመኛል በተለይ የራስ ቅሌን ከላይ ኃይለኛ ፕሬሸር ስላለው ልቤን ሁሉ ስለሚጎትት እሱ በጣም አደከመኝ ምግብ ደግሞ ምንም መመገብ አልቻልኩም በዚህ ላይ በሽንቴ ላይ ምርምር ሲያደርጉ የሆነ ነገር ስላዩ አንቲባዮቲክስ አዘውልኝ ነበር ያንን አንቲባዮቲክስ ወስድ ነበር ፈሳሽ ብዙ መውሰድ ስለነበረብኝ ፈሳሽም ስወስድ ወዲያው ይወጥ ስለሚወጣ በቃ ሰውነቴ በጣም እየደከመ መጣ ባለቤቴ ተቻላትን ሁሉ ትረዳኝ ነበር በተለይ ሲያስመልሰኝ ዝንጅብል ተልጦ ትንሽ ሳኝክ ወዲያው ያስታግሰኝ ነበር ይሄ እንግዲህ ለኛ ኮሚኒቲ እንደዚህ አይነት ችግር ካለባቸው ለኔ በጣም ይረዳኝ ነበር ዝንጅብል ማለት ነው ጥሬውን ትንሽ ተልጦ እሱን አይኝክና ስውጥ ወዲያው ይቆምልኛል የማስታወቁ ስሜት እንደገና ደግሞ የዝንጅብል ሻይ ውሃ ያፈላን እሱን እንደምንም ጠጣ ነበር መጨረሻ ላይ ምግብ ሰውነት እየደከመ ሲሄድ ምግብ አፍንጫ እያስኩ ነበር ምግብ ማዋጥ የምችለው በኮቪድ ሰዎች የማሽተት ሴንሳቸው ነበር ሉዝ የሚያደርጉት እኔ ላይ ግን ዘ ኦፖዚት ነው የሆነብኝ ኤኒቲንግ ይሸተኛል ምንም ነገር ይሸተኛል መተኛበት አልጋው አንሶላው ሰውነቴ በቃ በጣም ይሸተኛል እና እሱ በጣም ቦዘር ያደረገኝ ነበር እና ምግብ ደግሞ የምግብ ሽታ ከባድ ነበር በዚህ አጋጣሚ እንዳትወጡ ብለው ከገቨርንመንትም ተደውሎ መደረግ ያለበትን ሁኔታ አንዳንድ ገለጻ ሰጥተው ነበር ከቤታቸው ማንኛውም እንዳይወጣ የሚል በዛ ምክንያት አንወጣም ነበር የምግብ ችግር ያው እንግዲህ ዘግታችሁ ከተቀመጣችሁ እንዳትወጡ ከተባለ ትልቁ ችግር እሱ ነው ግን እግዚአብሔር ይስጣቸው ዘመዶቻችን በጣም በዚህ ላይ ተራርተውናል እንዲሁም በቤተክርስቲያን የምናውቃቸው ወንድሞችና እህቶች ጓደኞች እንደዚሁ ረድተውናል እና ይሄ እርዳታ አሁን አይ ቲንክ ለታመመ ሰው በተለይ ፎከስ ኮሚኒቲ ሊያደርግ የሚገባው ምንድነው ሰዎች መውጣት ስለማይችሉ አቅምም ስለሌለ እንዴት ነው ምግባቸው ምናምን የሚለው ነገር ጠቃሚ ይመስለኛል እና እኔ 15 ቀን ከቤት ውስጥ መውጣት አልቻልኩም ያው ካልጋ ላይ ከዛ ትልቁ ነገር ደግሞ ምንድነው ሐኪሞች ምንም ልረዳ ህክምና ስለሌለው በቤት ተቀመጥ ስላሉኝ ያደረኩት በግሌ ምንድነው ለቤተ ክርስቲያን አባቶች ደውዬ ፕሊዝ ጸልዩልኝ ዶክተሮች እንደዚህ ብለዋል እኔ ደግሞ አሞኛል ብያቸው እንግዲህ የሚያውቁኝ የቤተ ክርስቲያን አባቶች በጸሎት ተራርተውኛል እና ያ ትልቅ መንፈሳዊ ድጋፍ በውስጤ ነበረ ልክ የፋሲካ ዕለት ከዚህ ከህመሙ መታገስና ምግብ የመብላት ኃይል አገኘው ማለት ነው ከዛ በኋላ ሪከቨር አደረኩኝ ኤፕሪል 22 ላይ ነው ትንሽ መለስ ያለልኝ ከዛ ዶክተሮቹም ደውለው እንደገና ሪቼክ እንዳደረገው ነገሩ ሁሉ ስለተስተካከለ ዊዛውት ሪስትሪክሽን ተመልሼ ስራ ላይ እንድገባ ፈቅደውልኝ አሁን እንግዲህ ከአንድ ወር ከሳምንት በላይ ስራ ላይ ተመልሼ እየሰራሁ ነው ያለሁት ያለኝ ኤክስፒሪየንስ ይሄ ነው
በጣም ጥሩ እንኳን
ያልገለጽኩት ነገር ካለ አስታውሱኝ እገልጻለሁ
እሺ ያ አመሰግናለሁ አሁን ራሄል ወልዱ ትንሽ ያላት ኤክስፒሪየንስ ካንተም ከራሄል አብርሃም ትንሽ የተለየ ነው እስቲ ከሷ እንስማና ራሄል
ሰላም ያው ቅድም እንደገለጽሽው እኔ በቴስት ወስጄ ፖዚቲቭ ኮንፈርም አልሆንኩም ኔጌቲቭም አልሆንኩም ግን እኔ ሲምፕተም የጀመረኝ በጣም early ማርች ላይ ነው ገና ስኩሎቹ ገና ብዙ ኮንፈርም ሳይደረግ ኮንፈርም ያልሆነ ሲምፕተሞች ባለሉበት ጊዜ በጣም ራሴን ያመኝ ነበር ነገር ግን ይሄ በቫይረሱ ምክንያት መስሪያ ቤት በጣም በኬሚካል ክሊን ማድረግ ነበረባቸውና ክሎራክስ ብሊች ሪሌትድ የሆነ ነገር ሲኖር የአለርጂክ ስላለኝ ከዛ ጋር ያይዤው ለሳምንት ራስ ምታት ከዛ በኋላ ደግሞ ድካም በጣም በቃ እኔ በህይወቴ ኤክስፒሪየንስ አድርጌ የማላውቀው አይነት ድካም በጣም ኤክስፒሪየንስ አድርግ ነበር ነገር ግን ትምህርት ሊዘጋ ይችላል በሚለው አንፃር ብዙ አድሚኒስትሬቲቮች እንትን ማድረግ ስለነበረብን we were working በጣም ብዙ ሰዓቶች 24 hours almost የምንሰራበትና ብዙ ሚት የምናደርግበት ጊዜ ስለነበረ ከዛ ጋር ያይዤ ኮቪድ ነው ብዬም አላሰብኩም ግን አንድ ቀን በኮንፈረንስ ያለን በቃ ራሴን አይኔን ገልጬ መቀመጥ እስከሚያቀተኝ ተኛለሁ ብዙ ሰዓት ተነሽቼም እንደዛው ነው እና ራስ ምታቱ የማያትና ያው ሪሰርች እናደርግ ምናምን የኔ ሲምፕተም አልነበረም ግን መጨረሻ ላይ ደግሞ እየቀጠለ ሲሄድ ሲምፕተሙ እየጨመረ መጣና ካሉት ሲምፕተሞች ፊቨር እና ፊቨር ለ3 ለ4 ቀን የማያልፍ እና ከዛ ደውዬ ተነገርኳቸው በኋላ በዛ ሰዓት ቴስቲንግ ቦታ ብዙ አልነበረም በጣም ሪስትሪክሽን ስለነበረ ኳሊፋይድ እንደማላረግ ምክንያቱም አንድ ከኮቪድ ፖዚቲቭ ሆነ ሰው ጋር ኤክስፖዠር የለኝም ሁለተኛ ነገር ቴምፕሬቸር ሃይም ቢሆን it's not high enough ብሪዝም ማድረግ ስለምችል ያው እንትን ራስሽን እንትን አርገሽ ሪስትሪክት አርገሽ አይሶሌት አርገሽ እንደማናቸውም ከባድ ጉንፋን ራስሽን እንትን ቴክ ኬር አርጌ ያሉኝ ከዛ በኋላ ግን ሲምፕተም እየጨመረ መጣ ቤት ቆየሁኝ አይ ቲንክ የኔ 17 18 ቀን ነበርና በሚያመኝ ሰዓት ምንም ነገር ማድረግ አልችልም ደግሞ ደና ሰው እንደማናቸውም ሰዎች ኦፕሬት አድርግ ነበርና ምንድነው የወሰንኩት ውሳኔ ከሩሜ የቤድሩም ያልወጣው አባቴ አብሮኝ እዚህ ነው የሚኖረው ልጆችም አሉኝ ወጣቶችና every day 3 times a day meals እየመጣለኝ ሩም ቴክ ኬር ተደርጌ በመልካም ሁኔታ ነው ያለፉት ግን አሁን ካለፈ በኋላ ፕሪማች ሁሉም ያሉት ሲምፕተም አልፌበታለሁ ማስታወኩ መድከሙ ራስ ምታቱ ብሪዝ ማረጉ ትኩሳት ችልና ግን እኔ በየንቱ ፕሮግረስ ያደረገ በየተለየ ነው ልክ በደረስኩበት ደረጃ ቴስቲንግ እኔ ካለፍኩት በኋላ ሲምፕተሙ ሴፍ ቴስቲንግ ይፈቀዳልና በወጣውበት ጊዜ I don't have no reason that ቴስት ለመደረግ እና እንደነው ከመስሪያ ቤትም ካሉት ጋር ኃላፊነት ወስጄ እነሱን ኤክስፖዝ እንደማላረግ ቢኖርብኝ ቤተሰቦችንም በሚለው ከባድ ነው በተለይ በኮሚኒቲ በስራ በምን ኢንቮልቭ የሆነ ሰው ሩም ውስጥ ቁጭ ማለት 2 ሳምንት 3 ሳምንት ማለት በጣም ከባድ ነበር እና ያው ደግሞ ከህብረተሰቡም እና አዜብም ሱፕያ ማምጥተውልኝ እሱን ኮንትሪቢዩት አድርገዋል ቅድም እንዳለው በጸሎት ራስን መደገፍ በተለይ ሚዲያ ውስጥ ገብቶ ሊሆን ስኬር በጣም ብዙ ነገሮች አሉ የሚነገረውና ፊር ውስጥ እንዳልሆን ራሴን በኢንፎርሜሽን እና በእንትን ሌሎችንም ሰዎች እንዳይፈሩ ከዛ አንፃር አልፍ ያለውና ኮንፈርምድ አልሆንኩም ግን I had experience with the symptom እስካሁን ስራም መመለስ የለብኝም ከቤቴ ስለምሰራ ማንንም ሪስክ የለውም ግን I don't have no አሁን ሲምፕተሙ የለኝም
አው ትልቁ ማወቅ ያለብን 80% የሚሆነው ሰው ኮቪድ-19 ያዘው በጣም አይጠነክርበትም በሽታው ሆስፒታልም አይገባም ሶስታችሁም ሆስፒታል አልገባችሁም ጊዜም ቢፈጅ ድናችኋል እና እሱ ዋናው መልእክት መሆን አለበት ሰው እንዳይፈራ በጣም ደግሞ የሚጠቁት ሰዎች ያው የደባል በሽታ ያለባቸው እንደ የስኳር በሽታ የደም ግፊት የልብ በሽታ ሶስተኛ ደግሞ ምልክቶቹ በጣም የተለያዩ እንደሆኑ አሁን አዲስ ምልክት ከዚህ ሁሉ ሌላ እናንተም ያልገለጻችሁት የቆዳ ሽፍታ አንዳንድ የቆዳ ሽፍታዎች ይታያሉ አንዳንድ ሰዎች ላይ እነሱ ግን ጥሩ ፓተርን የለውም ስለዚህ ትንሽ ኤክስፖዠር ካለ ሰስፔክት አድርጎ ቶሎ መመርመሩ ይመረጣል ያው ሳል መድከም 70% የሚሆነው የኮቪድ-19 በሽተኛ አለው የጡንቻ ማመም 35% የሚሆነው አለው በጣም ደግሞ ሲጠነክር ትንፋሽ ማጥረት ይመጣል እሱ ሆስፒታል የሚያስገባ ምልክት ነው ለራሄል አብርሃምና ጥበበ ለመመርመር ችግር ነበረባችሁ እንዴት ነው የተመረመራችሁት ዶክተር ጋር ደውላችሁ ነው ወይስ ስክሪኒንግ ሴንተር ቦታ ሄዳችሁ ነው
እኔ ልጀምር እኔ ኒውዮርክ ሲቲ ነበርን እና ወንድሜና እናቴ ሲታመሙ it was at the very beginning ስለዚህ ምንም ችግር አልነበረም ሆስፒታል ወሰድኳቸው ሁለቱም ቴስት ለመደረግ ቻሉ እኔ ግን ቴስት አልተደረኩኝም እዛ ከተመለስኩኝ በኋላ ዶክተር ሄጃ አናግሬ ነው ቴስት ያደረኩት ካለፈ በኋላ ነው ቴስት ያደረኩት አንቲቦዲ ነው ያደረኩት እና ኮንፈርም አደረገችው
የጥበበ ደግሞ ምን አይነት ቴስት ነበር ያደረከው አቶ ጥበበ ሚውትድ ሆነ ይሆናል
ኦኬ እኔ 3 ቦታ መደወል ነበረብኝ ቴስት ለመደረግ ባለቤቴ ደውላ መጨረሻ ቴስት የሚያደርጉ ክሊኒክ ቦታ ላይ ነው የሄድነው ቀጥታ እንደገባው ቴስት አድርጉኝ ያልኳቸው ኦኬ ብለው ነው ምንም ችግር አልነበረም ግን ያው የቴስት ሪዛልቱ 2 ቀን ቆይቶ ነበር የሚመጣው
እና የአፍንጫውን ቴስት ነው ያደረከው ከባድ ነበረ ቀላል ነበረ ብዙ አስጨነቀ
ምንድነው የሆነ ኪት አለ ያንን ኪቱን ያመጡና ያስረዳሉ ከዛ በኋላ ራሳችንን አፍንጫችሁን እስከተን ያፍንጫ ነው ይሄኔ አፍንጫችሁን እስከተን ያው በዛ በሚሰጠን ኢንስትራክሽን መሰረት ቆመው ይያዩ የተደረገ ነው ብዙ ከባድም አልነበረም
ጥሩ የሲያትል ኪንግ ካውንቲ ዌብሳይት ላይ የተለያዩ ቦታዎች ሎ ባሪየር ቴስቲንግ ሳይቶች አሉና እሱን አክሰስ መደረግ ይቻላል ኮሚኒቲ ጸጋና ሶፊያ እሱ ሊስት አላችሁ ይመስለኛል ለኮሚኒቲው ሪሶርስ እንዲሆን
ሊስት ፌስቡካችን ላይ ለጥፈናል እንደገና ደግሞ አሁን የሚቀጥለው ፕሮግራም 145 ላይ እዚሁ ኮሚኒቲ ሴንተር መጥቶ ሰዎች እንዴት ቴስት እንደሚደረጉ ኢንፎርሜሽን እንሰጣለን
ፐርፌክት እና ፐብሊክ ሄልት ስካንም ደግሞ ጀምሯል አቋርጦ ነበረ አሁን እንደገና ጀምረዋል ሰልፍ ቴስት ኪት ቤታቸው ድረስ ዴሊቨር ተደርጎ ያንን ቴስት ማድረግ ይችላሉ ኦኬ ከእንግዶቻችን ጋር ተመልሰን ይሄ ስሜቱ የኮቪድ ስሜቱ መጥቶባችሁ ምልክቶቹ መጥቶባችሁ የረዳችሁ ነገሮች አሉ ከሶሻል አይሶሌሽኑ አሁን እሱን ተነጋግረናል ከሱ ሌላ ስለ ምልክቶቹ ስሜቶቹን የቀነሱላችሁ መድኃኒቶች አሉ ያደረጋችሁት ነገር አለ ራሄል ወልዱ ተጨምሪ
ለኔ በሰዓቱ early ስለነበረ በጣም ብዙ ኢንፎርሜሽኖች ስለነበሩ ኮንፊውዚንግ ነበረ አንዱ የረዳይ ምንድነው ያው በመስሪያ ቤት ከኪንግ ካውንቲ ፐብሊክ ሄልዝ መጥተው ኢንፎርሜሽን ሰጥቶ ነበር ከዛም አንድ ሳምንት ወይ 2 ሳምንት በፊት ኢትዮጵያ ኮሚኒቲ አንቺም ነበርሽና ብዙ ኢንፎርሜሽን ሼር ተደርጎ ነበርና እነሱ አይነት ኢንፎርሜሽን ባይኖሩ ብዙ ኮንፊውዥን ውስጥ ገብቼ የማይሆን ስሜት ውስጥ ገባለሁ የሚል እንትና ነበርኝ ሌላው ምንድነው የውጪ ሰው ደግሞ ስታሲ እንኳን ቶሎ እንትን ስለሚል ያንን ስሜት ሌላውን ሰው ለመጠበቅ ወይም ደግሞ ሌላ ሰው በመጥፎ ነገር እንዳያስብ ዳያሎግ መነጋገር መግለጽ ያለውን ኢንፎርሜሽን ሼር ማድረግ ከምንም በላይ ያው አባቴ በደንብ በቤት ቴክ ኬር ነው ያደረገኝና ሰፖርት በጣም አስፈላጊ ነው ቀደም አንድ ሰው አንስቷልና በተለይ ቤተሰብ ከሌለው ይሄ ድካሙ ምንም አይነት እድሜ ይሆን እኔ አሁን ብዙ ድካም የለኝም እና በጣም ከባድ ነበር ተነስቶ ውሃ መጠጣትና ደግሞ ከሩማ ለመውጣት ለብሽ ውሃ ማግኘት ይከብዳልና ሰፖርት በጣም አስፈላጊ ነው ሌላ ደግሞ ምንድነው ላይክ መስሪያ ቤት የማይፈቀድ ከሆነ ወይም ደግሞ የተለያየ እኔ እሱ ችግር አልነበረኝም ግን ያንን ራይታችን አውቀን በትክክል ኮሙኒኬት ማድረግ አሉ አንዳንድ ሰዎች እያመማቸው መጠየቅ የፈሩና ብዙ እንደዛ አይነት ነገር ነበርና አይ ቲንክ ኢንፎርሜሽኑ ማወቄና ሰፖርት ማግኘቴ ትልቅ ጥቅም ነበረው ፊቨሬ ለመቆጣጠር ታይናሎን የወሰድኩት ሌላ ሜዲሲን አልወሰድኩም ግን ብዙ የሀበሻ በሻይ በጋርሊክና ብዙ ነገሮች I'm sure I know for sure እሱ በጣም እንደረዳኝ አምንበታለሁ ምክንያቱም የፊዚካል ቼንጅን I would have observed ያ ሲሆንና ሳይሆን በዛ ሰዓት
አመሰግናለሁ አቶ ወልዱ ቅድም ዝንጅብል ረድቶኛል ብለሃል ሌላ የረዳህ ነገሮች አሉ እንድታገግም
ይቅርታ ጥበበነኝ እሺ ምንድነው የረዳኝ እንግዲህ ባለቤቴ ብዙ ነገር ታረግልኝ ነበር ፈሳሽ በጣም ያስፈልጋል በሚል የተለያዩ ለምሳሌ ቤት ውስጥ የሚዘጋጁ ነገሮች እንደምንም አዘጋጅታ እሱን በግድ ወስድ ነበር እነሱ ረድተውኛል በተለይ አሁን እኔ ትንሽ የመተንፈስ ችግር ብዙ ማለት በጣም የሆነ ትንሽ ነገር ሲሰማኝ ሶሻል ሚዲያ ላይ አንድ ሰው ታሞ የነበረ ሰውዬ የሰጠው ምክር በጣም የረዳኝ ይመስለኛል ምንድነው መተንፈስ ከተቸገራችሁ ዝም እንዳትሉ አርቲፊሻል በራሳችሁ ጥረት መተንፈስ ሞክሩ ብሎ ብሪዚንግ ኤክሰርሳይዝ እንዴት ማድረግ እንዳለብን አሳይቶ እሱ ነገር ጭንቅላቴ ውስጥ መጥቶ ያንን ኤክሰርሳይዝ አረግ ነበር ትንሽ አየር በጣም እየሳብኩ ትንሽ ይዘውና እዛ እንደገና መተንፈስ ይሄንን እንደዛ አይነት ስሜት ሲሰሙኝ ይሄንን በደንብ አረግ ነበር አይ ቲንክ እሱ በጣም ይረዳኝ ይመስለኛል ያው ነው እንግዲህ
እሺ አዎ በደንብ ሳምባህን ኢንፍሌት እያደረክ ነበር ማለት ነው እና አንዳንዴ እንደዛ አኪሙሌት እንዳናደርግ ይረዳናል አንዳንዴ እንደዛ ማድረጉ ራሂል
I don't really have anything more to add. Fluids, breathing exercise, and rest mostly. ምንም ሌላ መድኃኒት አልወሰድንም እናቴን አንቲባዮቲክ ተሰጥታ ነበር እሱ ሌላ ነገር ነበር መሰለኝ ግን anyway she completed the full treatment of the antibiotics ግን ሌላ መድኃኒት አልወሰድንም እኛ just isolate fluids and rest
የክሮኒክ በሽታ ያላቸው ሰዎች የነዛን የክሮኒክ በሽታዎቹን በደንብ አድርጎ መቆጣጠሩ በጣም ይረዳል እንደዚህ አይነት በሽታ ሲመጣ ብዙ እንዳይታመሙ ለምሳሌ የስኳር በሽታ ያላቸው የስኳር በሽታቸው በደንብ ኮንትሮልድ እንዲሆን የደም ግፊታቸውን በደንብ ኮንትሮልድ እንዲሆን እሱ ሁሉ በጣም ይረዳል እንደዚህ አይነት በሽታ ቶሎ ለማገገም ግሬት አሁን 3 ደቂቃ ብቻ ነው ያለን ስለዚህ ጥያቄ ካለ ለፓነሊስቶች እንስታለን በጣም አመሰግናለሁ ሁለቱ ራሄሎች ስለተባበረ ጥያቄ አለ
አንሚት ለማድረግ ስታር 6 በስልክ የገባችሁ ስታር 6 ማድረግ ትችላላችሁ ያው በዙም የገባችሁ አንሚት ማድረግ
እሺ ቃል አብኔ ፕሮግራም ነው ለኮሚኒቲን አመሰግናለሁ የኔ ጥያቄ ለሌላው ለቤተሰቡ ስላለ ሰው የማስተላለፍ እንሱ ነበር ሌሎቹ አብራቸው የሚኖሩ ቢሆን ራሄል በሽታው ወደ ሌላ ሰው ተጋባ ወይ ቤት ውስጥ ወዳለ ሰው ወይስ እናንተ ብቻ ሆነ ያዛችሁት ጥያቄ ይሄ ነው አመሰግናለሁ
ራሄል ወልዱ ትጀምሪያለሽ አንቺ ብዙ ሰዎች ነበሩ አጠገብሽ
አው እኔ ብዙ ጊዜ ችልተኛ ነኝ ለእንደዚህ አይነት ነገርና ግን ቤተሰቦች ስለነበሩኝ ከሩም አልወጣሁም እና ምንም አይነት ሌላ ሰው የያዘው አልነበረም በመጨረሻ ላይም ተሽሎኝ ምንም አይነት ሲምፕተም ካሌለኝ በኋላ ዶክተሮች ጋር ደውዬ ካነጋገርኩ በኋላ ለማውጣት ስል ልጆቼ ከከተማ ወጥቼ ቤቱን ሁላ ዲስኢንፌክት አደረኩኝና በጣም ከባድም ቢሆን ለኔ ቤት መቀመጡ ያደረኩት ምክንያት ከኔ በላይ ቤት ውስጥ ለሚኖሩ ሰዎች ወይም ደግሞ ወጥቼ ምን ለምለውና ከዛ አንፃር ማንም ሰው አልታመመም ወይም ደግሞ ሲምፕተሙ አልነበረውም ከዛ በኋላ
እኔም አራታችንም ያዘን ልክ እንደያዘን ልክ እንዳወቅን አይሶሌት ማድረግ ጀመርን እና ኢሚዲየትሊ ለየብቻችን ሆነንና ከዛ በኋላ ኮንቴንት ሆነ እና ለ14 ቀን ከቤት አልወጣንም
የቀረችው 1 ደቂቃ ናት ይሰማል
ይሰማል
በዚህ የኔ ደግሞ ያው እኔ ከባለቤቴ ጋር ብቻችንን ነው የምንኖረው ሌላ ተጨማሪ ሰው አልነበረም የድካም ስሜቱ ቀደም ብሎ ይሰማኝ ስለነበረ ባለቤቴ ምንም እስካሁን ድረስ አብረን ነበር ከሆነም ያው እኔም ላይ ይኖራልና አያስፈልግም ብላ ራሴን እኔ ለብቻ ሮም ውስጥ ለመክለል ስፈልግ ከልክላ ያው በዛ ሁኔታ ነው ያለምንም ጥንቃቄ 15 ቀኑን ቤታችን ውስጥ ያዋል ነው ምንም አይነት እሷ ላይ ያመጣው ወይም ተላልፎባት የታመመችው ሁኔታ አልታየም ይሄ ነው ያለው በኔ በኩል
እሺ አመሰግናለሁ ሌላ
ጥያቄ ሳይሆን አንድ ሐሳብ ማድረግ ብችል ከዚህ ውጪ አንድ ሁለት በቤተሰብ በጓደኝነት በማቃቸው ቴስትድ ፖዚቲቭ የሆኑ ነገር ግን ምንም አይነት ሲምፕተም የሌላቸው ሰዎች አሉና ያም ከአንፃር አሁን በተለይ ብዙ ሰዎች እንደዛ ያሉ ነውና በአንዳንድ ሲምፕተም እንደሌለ ተረድቻለሁ አውቄያለሁ
ያው ልክ ነው ሁለት ነገሮች አሉ አንደኛ ምልክቱ ስሜቱ ከመሰማቱ በፊት እስከ 5 ቀን አንዳንዴም እስከ 7 ቀን ምንም ምልክት ላይኖር ይችላል አንዳንዴ ደግሞ አንዳንድ ሰዎች ታመው እስከ መጨረሻው ድረስ ብዙ ምልክቶች ላይኖራቸው ይችላል እና እነሱን ማወቅ አይቻልም ያው ለዚህ ነው አሁን ብዙ ሰው የተሰበሰበበት ቦታ ያለ መሄድ ወይም ደግሞ ግሮሰሪ ፐብሊክ ቦታ ከሄደን ደግሞ ጭንብል ወይ ማስክ ማድረግ እጅን መታጠብ እሱ ሁሉ በጣም የሚያስፈልገው ብዙ ሰው ኮቪድ ያዘው አንዳንዱ ምልክት ሊያሳይ ስለማያሳይ ነው እና መጠበቁ መከላከሉ ጥሩ ነው ሌላው ደግሞ on the flip side symptom ከሰው ካለው ጋርም ኤክስፖዝድ ሆኖ 100% ትራንስሚሽን አይደለም እሱም ደግሞ አለ ምናልባት ወይ ትራንስሚሽን ኖሮ አንቲቦዲ እንፈጥርና ብዙ ምልክት ላይኖረን ይችላል ግን እስካሁን ድረስ 100% አይደለም ኤክስፖዝድ የሆነው ሰው የሚይዘው ይሄ ሁሉ ዋናው የሚያሳየን ስለማናቅ ማን እንደሚያስተላልፍ እንዴት እንደሚተላለፍ ስትሬንግቱን ስለማናቅ መከላከሉና አሁን የምናቀው ነገር እንደምንከላከል ለመከላከል የሚያስችለንን ነገር ማስኩንም መታጠቡንም እሱንም ማድረጉ ያንን ምክር መከተል አለብን especially public space ላይ ወይም ስራ የምንሄድ ሰዎች ሌላ ጥያቄ ከሌለ ጸጋ ሶፊያ መድረኩን ለእናንተ ሰጥቻለሁ thank you and thank you for the
hello
እንኳን ዳናችሁ for sharing your stories
ይቅርታ አንድ ጥያቄ ነበርኝ ይቅርታ ዮናስ ነኝ ይቻላል ወይስ ሰዓቱ አለፈ
እሺ quickly ጠይቅና ትንሽ ኦቨር ነው
ብዙ እንትን ሳይሆን I just ስለ ዝንጅብል ምናምን ያለው ሰውዬ ይቅርታ ስምን ረሳሁት ስለሱ ማወቅ ፈልጌ ነበር ብዙ ሰዎች እንደዚህ አይነት ሜዲሲን ምናምን ብለው ሀበሾችም አሉ ዩቲዩብ ላይ ቪዲዮ እየፈጠሩ just ለማወቅ ያክል ግን ይሄ ፐብሊክ እንትን አይደለም like ለሰዎች ይሄ ዘዴ አይደለም ምናምን just የሱ አስተያየት ዝንጅብል እሱ ነበር ሶሉሽኑ ላንተ ወይስ እንዴት ነው አስተሳሰብ
እሺ ጥበበ 30 ሰከንድ ከቻልክ 30 ሰከንድ
እሺ አዎ እኔም በጣም ረድቶኛል በጣም ያስመልሰኝ ነበርና ምግብ ለመብላት ስፈልግ ወደ ላይ ስለሚለኝ ዝንጅብል ባለቤቴ ልጣልኝ እሱን አኝኬ ስውጥ ወዲያ ኢሚዲየትሊ ነው የሚያቆምልኝ የነበረው ለኔ በጣም ረድቶኛል ይሄንንም ኢንፎርሜሽን ያው ዝንጅብል ሁልጊዜ መድኃኒትነቱ የታወቀ ነው ቤታችን እንጠቀመዋለን በሻይ ምናምን እና በትክክልም ለኔ በጣም የረዳኝ ነገር ትልቁ ዝንጅብል ነው
Thank you ጥበበ ሁላችሁንም እናመሰግናለን ይቅርታ ያው ከጊዜ ጋር መሄድ ስላለብን ነው
አንድ ጊዜ ጸጋ አንድ ፖይንት ለማስተላለፍ ፈልጋለሁ ሲምፕተም ምልክቱን ማኔጅመንት ማድረግ ነው እንጂ ቫይረሱን መግደል የሚችል ነገር የለም ለሲምፕተም ማኔጅመንት ነው ያው እንደ ጉንፋን እንደ ኢንፍሉዌንዛ ያለ የሚመጣብን በሽታ በዝንጅብል አንቲ ኢንፍላማቶሪ ፕሮፐርቲ ስላለው ሊረዳን ይችላል ያው ሙቅ ውሃ ለመን እንጂ ቫይረሱን አይገድልም የሚለውን
ለማስመር ነው እሺ Thank you Dr. Askwa Okay do we have Cindy or Shanda on the line from Medical Team International
Yes this is Cindy I'm here
Okay yeah. Okay let me just give a brief intro in Amharic Cindy ከሜዲካል ቲም ኢንተርናሽናል የሱ ሲኦ ናት አሁን ከኢትዮጵያ ኮሚኒቲ ጋር በመተባበር እኛ ኢትዮጵያ ኮሚኒቲ ስለ ኮቪድ ቴስት ለማድረግ ዲቴይሉን ትነግረናለች this is Cindy from Medical Team International and she'll walk us through what we've planned to do in terms of COVID testing at the Ethiopian Community Center.
And this is Dr. David. I'm also on the line.
Okay, welcome, Dr. David.
Thank you.
Dr. David, you want to do a quick introduction?
Sure, I can talk briefly. So I know a few of you because I used to work in the International Medicine Clinic at Harborview and have been involved with the East African community for a while. I've actually taught several times at the University of Gondar in Tigray province. And so it's always a pleasure for me when I can help the Habesha community back here at home. And I've also worked for many years with medical teams internationally, which is a Seattle and Portland-based nonprofit that is really designed to kind of provide support for people, for communities in need both home and abroad. And with COVID, they have really tried to shift their capabilities to help with the COVID response. And what is become very clear now with the shift in the disease curve and the priorities is that we're moving from the first phase, which was really a phase of trying to manage the influx of patients into hospitals and emergency rooms. That was really phase one, was we were at the upswing of the epidemic. Hospital systems were being overwhelmed. Long-term care facilities were being overwhelmed. People were getting sick. There was, really an emphasis in trying to prevent deaths and learn about this disease. And we're now really in, I think, a new phase where the number of cases is declining and the surge on the hospitals is receding. And we're in the phase now of trying to, well, how do we, what is the new normal? How do we go from here? How do we sort of start to reopen economic life and social life and yet keep this this virus from just coming back in and reemerging and making people sick again? How do we prevent that resurgence? And the answer is, until we have a vaccine, what we have to be able to do is identify who is sick, quickly isolate them, keep them from spreading it to others, and really lock down those pockets of infection. And this has been a tried and true public health strategy going back hundreds of years. And as you are well aware of, one of the pockets of illness in this community is the East African community, for all sorts of reasons that I don't need to tell you about. So what medical teams has been doing is taking some vans that they already had been deploying previously to do mobile dental care and repurposing them to help with mobile testing. And has been building its experience in doing that, starting with supporting Swedish Medical Center in Issaquah with a community-based COVID testing there. And now more recently taking over, working with public health and the University of Washington to target sites that have been identified, including some of the homeless communities, the tiny villages. And more recently, partnering with a Somali health board to do a big campaign to get testing done there. And so, we're learning some of the things about how do you do registration, how do you do messaging in different languages, how do you do appropriate follow-up with positive tests, how do you do the appropriate education. And I think we're now in a pretty good position to help with other communities that think this would be valuable. The first priority is organizing people and identifying people that should be tested, and that's something we kind of defer to our partners for. In terms of actually doing the electronic medical record, the actual test collection, sending it off to the lab, following up on results, that's something that medical teams in King County can take charge of. And then the one part that is I'm personally not clear on is sort of who actually foots the bill for the testing itself, and I'll let maybe Cindy talk to that. But I do think that this is a great opportunity. I think being able to identify, and as you well know, part of the issue is that a lot of people are spreading virus who have no idea that they're sick. And as you well know, a lot of the East African community are in the front lines as healthcare workers, as nurses' aides, as they're out working in jobs where they may not have adequate protection. They're interacting. They're not much less able to participate in sort of sheltering at home than many other parts of our community. And so they are, I think, at higher risk. And certainly when we had some of the health workers who were positive where I worked, they had minimal to no symptoms. Maybe they felt a little bit feverish one day or a few muscle aches, but they were still showing up to work because they needed the paycheck. And then it was only after we aggressively started testing that we realized not only were they sick, but they were spreading disease to other family and friends and patients. So that's really, I think, why this is an important effort. And frankly, the rest of it is kind of, I think, for us to listen to you guys, understand what your needs are, and try to figure out what you see as the best way for us to help. And with that, I'll kind of pass it over to Cindy, and then I'd love to hear back from you guys.
Thank you so much, Dr. David. Do we need to pause for a moment for any translation?
Yeah, and I'm sorry, my Amharic is extremely limited, but I'm a second.
But if not, it's okay.
I can do a high-level summary at the end because we're running short on time. Yeah.
Okay. Are you able to see my screen here?
Yes.
Fantastic. So thank you so much for allowing us to come and share with you. And so I'm a Seganalo, and I say that I am from Gondar because I lived in Gondar as a young person, and I just love Ethiopia. So I am so thankful to be able to be here in the community of my heart and my childhood. So thank you very much. Yes, as Dr. David mentioned, I work with Medical Teams International. Normally we respond in international disasters. as we have a pandemic in the midst of our own community, we have decided to pivot and to do similar things that we would do internationally here in our own community. And working with Dr. David and others, we determined that helping specific communities have access to COVID-19 testing would be helpful in this battle against coronavirus. So I want to talk to you a little bit about what we can do. David already mentioned who we are, so I won't go into that. But we are working with Seattle King County Public Health, and I heard you mention them earlier in the conversation. So we're not doing this apart from the broader public health community, but we are all working collaboratively with different communities, and we said we'd really like to work with the Ethiopian and the East African communities for any testing that you might be interested in receiving. So we would love to come to your community center, and we selected June 11th with a small committee as a possibility to provide free testing. It's open to everyone, and I think you know already a lot. I think you were having a lot of discussion about it already. And as Dr. David said, we're here to help prevent further spread and to really help people understand, you know, who is an active carrier in the community right now, and make sure we can keep people safe and healthy. We have these mobile units that we will bring to the center, and we will work off of those units outside to do the testing. It's about a 10-minute process. There's some wait too, but about a 10-minute appointment. You would need to bring some identification, a driver's license, a health insurance card. But even if you don't have those, we will still be able to do your test, and we'll be happy to test you. If you have a mask, please wear that to the clinic. If you don't have a mask, we will also provide that for you. We want everyone to be as safe as possible. We do have some paperwork, and we will have interpreters to help out. We will also have some materials in, certainly in Amharic, as much as we can. I'm not sure we'll have the forms available in Amharic, but we'll have education materials for you. The forms will ask for a name, a phone number, an address, and consent. So we want everybody to understand the test and how to get your results. A nurse will ask a few questions and a little bit about your medical history. They will take your temperature and take your pulse and oxygen level. It's very, very simple, just on a finger. And there'll be people to help you through that process. Once you're registered, you'll go to a testing tent, somewhat similar to what you see in the picture here, where we'll have our nurses help you, and you will actually do the test yourself if you're comfortable, or they can do the test for you. We no longer need to do that test that goes all the way to the back of the throat through the nose. It's a much more comfortable test right in the front of the nose, both sides of your nose. And like I said, you can do it yourself. It's not painful, and it will only take about 10 seconds to do the actual test. And then you will get your results in 2 to 3 days. What we would like to recommend is that somebody from the Ethiopian Health Council, if it's negative, and we will work with them if you have a positive test. Certainly one of our nurses will be on a call, and maybe somebody from the council as well. We have yet to work that out with your group. If there is a positive test, we do notify public health. It's a requirement. And then we will we'll help you, and they will help you with the quarantine to prevent spreading of infection to anybody else. Everybody, I just encourage to continue using good hygiene, hand washing practices, social distancing, masks when you're out in public, and let's work together to stay safe and healthy. And we would feel very honored if we could come and provide this service to you. Again, absolutely no charge. So that is my presentation. Any questions, or perhaps some interpretation would be helpful at this point.
Thank you, Cindy. Saga, hard to step out. We are past time, but I will definitely translate. So, ምንድን ነው የተባለው? አጠቃላይ ይሄ ድርጅት በአብዛኛው ኢንተርናሽናል ነበር የሚሰራው። አሁን ግን ይሄንን የኮቪድን ችግር በመረዳት እዚሁ ሲያትል ውስጥ ለኮሚኒቲዎች ቴስት ማድረግ ጀምረዋል እና ከኛ ጋር ተነጋግረው ነበር ያለፈው ሳምንት እንዴት ወደኛ ኮሚኒቲ ይሄንን ቴስት ሊያመጡልን እንደሚችሉ እና የተስማማ ነው። ለመጀመሪያው እስቲ ጁን 11 እናድርግና ኮሚኒቲያችን መጥቶ የሚያስፈልገው ነገር በጣም ቀላል ነው። መታወቂያችሁን ብቻ ይዞ መምጣት ነው። ከቻላችሁ እና ካላችሁ የኢንሹራንስ ካርዳችሁን ታመጣላችሁ። ግን ኢንሹራንስ የሌለው ሰውም መጥቶ ቴስቱን መውሰድ ይችላል። የግድ ሪኳየርመንት አይደለም እና እንዳለ ፕሮሰሱ የሚፈጀው 10 ደቂቃ ነው። ግን በ10 ደቂቃ ሰው የሚመጣው እኛ ጋር እንዳይሰባሰብ ከሰኞ ጀምሮ በስልክ መመዝገብ እንጀምራለን። ስንመዘግብ በ30 ደቂቃ ዲፍረንስ ነው የምንመዘግበውና እኛ ጋር ብዙ ፐርሰናል ኢንፎርሜሽናችሁ እንዳይቀመጥ እኛ የምንወስደው ከናንተ ስማችሁንና ስልክ ቁጥራችሁን ብቻ ይሆናል። በኋላ ግን ለነሱ ዴት ኦፍ በርዝ እንደዚህ ልትሰጧቸው ትችላላችሁ እንደሚያስፈልገው። እኛ ግን ለምዝገባ ብቻ ሁለቱ ይበቁናል እና ከሰኞ ጀምራችሁ ተመዝገቡ። እኛ ጋር ጁን 11 ነው የምናደርገው፣ ግቢያችን ውስጥ ነው የምናደርገው። ይሄንን እንደ መሞከሪያም ነው የምናየው። ዲማንዱ ካለና በጣም ብዙ ሰው ቴስት መደረግ የሚፈልግ ከሆነ እንደገና ደግሞ ሌላ ቀን አሬንጅ እናደርጋለን። ለዚህ ለመጀመሪያው ቀን ግን እንደ ሙከራም ስለሆነ ከ50 እስከ 60 ሰው አካባቢ ነው ለመመዝገብ ያሰብነው ከጠዋት Cindy, can you remind me, was it from 8 or 10 that we agreed to have the testing?
I think we were thinking about 9 o'clock in the morning, so we would get there around 8 to
okay.
And then test at 9. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so ከጠዋቱ 9 ሰዓት 9 AM ጀምረን እስከ ማታ 5 ድረስ እንሄዳለን እንዳለቀ ማለት ነው። ግን አጠቃላይ ካፓሲቲያቸው በአንድ ቀን ውስጥ 60 እና 70 ስለሆነ እዛ ላይ እናቆማለን። ፈርስት ካም ፈርስት ሰርቭ አድርገን ከሰኞ ጀምሮ መዝግበን ማለት ነው። እና ሰዓቱ ስለሄደ እስቲ ቻት ላይም ጥያቄ እያነበብኩኝ ነው። Is there any flyer about the June 11 mobile testing to share to those who would like to do the testing? So flyerun ገና አልሰራንም ግን እንሰራለን። ግን ዋናው ኢንፎርሜሽን ማለት ገና ኮንቨርሴሽኑን ያደረግነው ያሁኑ አርብ ነው። ቶሎም ለማድረግ የፈለግንበት ምክንያት ምናልባት ኮሚኒቲ ውስጥ ኦሬዲ ያዘኝ እያሉ ሐሳብ ያዛቸው ሰዎች ካሉ ቶሎ ቴስት እንዲደረጉ ለማድረግ ፈልገን ነው። ስለዚህ ፍላየሩን ቶሎ እናወጣለን። ግን ዋናው ኢንፎርሜሽኑ ዋናው ቀኑ ነው። ሁለተኛ የሚያስፈልገው ነገር ነው እና እኛ ጋር ስትደውሉ ስማችሁን ስልካችሁን እየሰጣችሁን እንትን ትላላችሁ ማለት ነው። እና ጥያቄ ካለ እኛ ጋር እየደወላችሁ እሱንም በስልክ መጠየቅ ትችላላችሁ። ሲንዲ ብቻ ግን ልትመልሰው ትችላለች ብላችሁ የምታስቡት ጥያቄ ካለ ለአንድ ሰው ብቻ ሰጣለሁ።
Sophia, can I ask a question? This is Asqua.
Sure.
Is this a one-off testing, or is it going to be testing available at the community center at an interval of some sort? Or is it sort of a trial now?
I'm going to say yes to all of those, in the sense of we would love to come back and do some recurring testing, especially if there are any positives. So yes, the option is available. It's not just a one-time event.
Okay, great, thank you. Because 11 sounds like it's just around the corner, and I don't know
It is.
how well we can market across all of them.
11 እንደመነሻ ለማየት ነው የፈለግነው ግን ዲማንዱንም ለማየት ነው።
And I would point out this is also a very fluid situation, and so there's a lot of benefit in having kind of a snapshot in time, but there will be an ongoing need, probably for the next 3 to 4 months, to be able to do more targeted testing of people. So I think, at the very least, building those connections now will have some long-term payoffs, and then future testing will have to be kind of, we can decide as needs show up.
We at our meeting with the committee, we picked the 11th just to get started, because we figured once we talked about it, there may be some people that want to take advantage of it sooner than later. But we also realize maybe we need to have some weekend testing opportunities. So we'll work closely with the Ethiopian Community Committee and to make it as available as possible and at the best times for the community.
Thank you. Yeah, so we are close to closing now. I'll first thank Dr. Russell. He's the one who connected us with this opportunity, so thank you so much. He has also been helping the community in the health board for so many years, so thank you for that too. Thank you, Cindy, for being here and for planning this tasting with us. So moving on, ሁለት አናውንስመንቶች አሉ ከታችን በፊት የመጀመሪያውን አዜብ ትሰጭልናለሽ? አዜብ ሚስ ላይ ነሽ መሰለኝ። አዜብ
እሺ፣ እንደምን ዋላችሁ? እንኳን ሁላችሁንም በፊትም በስልክም ለማየት በቃን። በተለይ ደግሞ ያመማችሁ እንኳን ዳናችሁ እና ለዚህ ጊዜ እንኳን አብረን በቃን። እንግዲህ ያው ያለፈው አመት የኢትዮጵያ ኮሚኒቲ ታስታውሱ እንደሆነ 3 ኢቨንቶች ፒአር እየመራው አዘጋጅተን ነበር። ይሄም ኢንተርጀነሬሽናል ጋፑን ለመዝጋት ወላጆች ልጆችን እንዲረዱ በተለይም አሁን ያንግ አዳልት የተባሉት እኛን ይተኩናል ብለን የምንጠብቃቸው እንድንረዳዳ በየተለያዩ ሐሳቦች ላይ ደግሞ ያለን ጥያቄና አስተያየት ከየት እንደሚመጣ ለመነጋገር ነው። እና አሁንም እንግዲህ በ2020 የመጀመሪያውን ለማድረግ ተነስተናል። የሚቀጥለው እሁድ ነው የሚሆነው ከሰዓት በኋላ ከ2 ሰዓት እስከ 3 ተኩል። የሚያተኩረውም በፖሊስ ብሩታሊቲ የሞቱትን ወንድሞቻችንን እና እህቶቻችንን በማስታወስ እነኚህ ሁኔታዎች ደግሞ እንዴት ነው የመጡት፣ እንዴት ነው እኛ ደግሞ አዘ ኮሚኒቲ ዋጋቸው ልንከላከላቸው የምንችለው የሚሉትን ነገሮች ለማንሳት ከዛም አልፎ ደግሞ አዘ ኮሚኒቲ እንዴት ነው ልንድን እንችለው። በተለይም ይሄንን እንግዲህ የሚመሩልን ያንግ አዳልቶቹ ናቸው እና ይሄንን ማስታወቂያውን እናወጣለን። ያን በመናወጣበት ጊዜ አሁን በጣም ብዙ ሰው እንደተገኘው ከዚህ በላይ ብዙ ሰው እንጠብቃለን እና ለዚህም እያንዳንዳችሁ እንግዲህ ለምታውቁት ሰው ወጣት አሮጊት ኦር ኤኒ እንድትነግሩና ይሄን ስብሰባ እንዲሳተፉ ውይይቱ እንዲደረግ ማለት ነው። እና ባጭሩም ሜቢ በእንግሊዝኛ ይሆናል እንትኑ የሚወጣው ልንተረጉመው ሞክራለን። ዋናው ነገሩ የዚህ ሚቲንግ ነገር ቨርቹዋሊ ነው የሚካሄደው to honor those who have lost their life to police brutality and educate ourselves on how we can support this movement and heal. So መማሩ ከሁላችንም ነው የሚመጣው። በተለይም ደግሞ አሁን ልጆቻችን ሰልፍ ይውላሉ፣ ሰልፍ ሰፖርት ያደርጋሉ፣ የማይወጡት እንኳን በዚህ ነገር በጣም በጭንቀት ላይ ናቸው ምክንያቱም እንዳሉት ከቤት በራቸው ሲወጡ የያንዳንዱ ጥቁሮች ላይ ይደርሳል የሚባሉ ነገሮች ጥቁር እንደመሆናቸው ይደርስባቸዋል ቤት ውስጥ ደግሞ እኛ እንግዲህ ሜቢ ያንንም አክኖሌጅ አድርገን ሰፖርት ማድረጉ በጣም አስፈላጊ ስለሚሆን እነኚህ ውይይቶች እንቀጥላለን አስተያየት ያላችሁ ለኮሚኒቲው ደውላችሁ ተሰጡ ትችላላችሁ ለወደፊት ውይይቶች አሁን ግን የሚቀጥለው እሁድ በ2 PM እንግዲህ አይ ሆፕ ብዙዎቻችሁን እናገኛችኋለን ማለት ነው እሺ መልካም ቀን
እሺ ታንክ ዩ አዚብ ከመጨረሳችን በፊት አንድ የመጨረሻ አናውንስመንት አለ እንቅርታ ከሰዓት በላይ ስለሄድን ይሄንንም ዶክተር ብርሃኑ ነው የሚሰጠው ዶክተር ብርሃኑ የሲያትል ኮቪድ-19 ኢመርጀንሲ ሪስፖንስ ሄድ ነውና እሱም ይላል እሱን ቶሎ አዳምጠን እንጨርሳለን ታንክ ዩ ፓስተር
አቤት ተናስተልኝ እንዴት ዋላችሁ በጣም አመሰግናለሁ እህት ሶፊያ ይሄንን እድል ስለሰጠሽኝ በመጀመሪያ ከመጀመሪያው ጀምሬም ስለነበረ ስላለው የኢትዮጵያ ኮሚኒቲ እንቅስቃሴ በጣም የሚያኮራና የሚያስደስት ነው ይሄም ደግሞ ያለፉት ከመጀመሪያው ጀምሮ እቺ ከተማከተ ኢትዮጵያኖች ከመጡበት ጀምሮ ጥረት አድርገው ኮሚኒቲው ተመስርቶ እዚህ ደረጃ እንዲደርስ ላደረጉት ሌጋሲ ነው የነሱ ሌጋሲ ነው አንድ ሰው ለሰው ባይጀምረው ኖሮ እዚህ አንደርስም ነበር በጣም ምስጋናም ለነሱ ይገባል በአሁኑ ደረጃ ደግሞ በጣም ተንቀሳቅሳችሁ ሁለተኛውን ጄነሬሽን አስገብታችሁ ወጣቶችን አስገብታችሁ እንደዚህ ማንቀሳቀሳችሁ የሚያኮራና የሚያስደስት ነው አሁን እንግዲህ ብቅ ያልኩትና ጊዜ የተሰጠኝ በዚህ በኢትዮጵያ ውስጥ በተከሰተው ኮቪድ-19 ይሄ ኮቪድ-19 እንግዲህ አጠቃላይ ኢንተርናሽናል ስሙ ስለሆነ ነው ኮቪድ-19 በአውሮፓም በዚህም በአፍሪካም ኮቪድ-19 እየተባለ ስለሚጠራ ይሄንን ስም እኛም ሰተነዋልና እዚህ በሲያትል ያለነው ግብረ ኃይል ወደ 49 የምንሆን ታስክ ፎርስ ሜምበር ነን ጥቂት ሰዎች በፈቃደኝነት ለቀዋል ከታክስ ፎርሱ ግን ከነዚህ ከ49 ውስጥ ደግሞ 9 የሚሆኑ አክቲቭ ኤግዚኪዩቲቭ ሜምበሮች አሉ ከነሱ ጋራ በመስራት ዲዛይን በማውጣት አንድ ወር ፈጅቶብናል ስም በማውጣት ዲዛይን በማውጣት ሐሳብ በመሰብሰብ ይሄኛ እንግዲህ ለብቻችን አንሰራም 13 ስቴቶች አንድ ላይ ነው እዚህ ኖርዝ ዌስት ያለነው ከዴንቨር ወደ ዌስት ስትመጡ ከሲያትል ወደ ታች እስከ ሳን ዲያጎ ስትወርዱ 13 ከተሞችን ያጠቃለለ ነው በሎስ አንጀለስ ባለው የኢትዮጵያን ኮንሱሌት ኦፊስ የሚመራ ነው ከነሱ ጋራ ነው የምንሰራው ያ ኦፊስ ደግሞ ከዲሲ ካለው የኢትዮጵያ ኤምባሲ ጋራ ኮኔክት አድርጎ የሚሰራ ነው የኛ ዋናው አላማችን ገንዘብ ማሰባሰብ ነው ይህ የተሰበሰበው ገንዘብ ደግሞ የኢትዮጵያ መንግስት የኢትዮጵያ ኤምባሲ ከአሜሪካ የውጭ ጉዳይ ሚኒስቴር ወይም የስቴት ዲፓርትመንት ጋር ተነጋግሮ ስፔሻል አካውንት የማይከፈት አካውንት ነው ተከፍቶላቸው እንዲሰሩ ለዚህ ለኮቪድ-19 ብቻ ገንዘብ ከአሜሪካን ወደ ኢትዮጵያ ማዛወር እንዲችሉ ነው እና ይሄ አገራችን ባለችበት በአሁኑ ወቅት እየባሰ ነው እንጂ የመጣው እየቀነሰ ስላልመጣ እኛም ደግሞ በሲያትል አካባቢ ያሉትን ኢትዮጵያውያን ወገኖቻችንንና እንዲሁም ደግሞ ትውልደ ኢትዮጵያዊ የሆኑትና የኢትዮጵያ ወዳጆችም የሆኑትን አሜሪካውያንን እንደዚህ ልግስና እንዲያደርጉና ወደ ጎፈንድሚ እንዲያስገቡ ጥያቄ እያቀረብን ነው ሳይቱ ላይ ሄዳችሁ ስትመለከቱ በአማርኛም በእንግሊዘኛም ገለጻ አድርገናል እንደገና ዲቨሎፕ እናደርገዋለን ሐሳባችሁን እንፈልጋለን ሰዎች ኢንቮልቭ እንዲያደርጉ ጥሪ እናቀርባለን ይህ ኮሚቴውም ቢሆን ታስክ ፎርሱ ከየቤተ እምነቱ ከየኮሚኒቲው የተወጣጣ ነው ከሁሉም ህብረተሰብ የተወጣጣ ነው ሁላችንም ተሰባስበን ያለነው የተወጣጣ ነው በሁለተኛ ደረጃ ደግሞ በቮለንቲር ቤስ ማለት ያለምንም ክፍያ በፈቃደኝነት ነው በዙምም ስንገናኝ በቴሌፎንም ስንገናኝ በማንኛውም አንፃር በመንገናኝበት ጊዜ በፈቃደኝነት ጊዜያቸውን ሰውተው የሚያገለግሉ ሰዎች ናቸው እዚህ ውስጥ ያሉትና የኔን ስልክ ቁጥር መተው ይችላል 206-778-1464 ማንኛውም ጥያቄ ቢኖራችሁ ልትጠይቁን ትችላላችሁ ዙም ሚቲንግ እናደርጋለን ቴሌኮንፈረንስ እናደርጋለን ገብታችሁ መካፈል ትችላላችሁና የኔን ቁጥር መውሰድ ትችላላችሁ ይሄ ጥያቄና መልስ ጊዜ ስላልሆነ እንዲሁ እንደማስታወቂያ መግባትና መናገር ስላለብኝ ነው ህብረተሰባችንን አደፋፍሩ አንድ ብርም ቢሆን ለኢትዮጵያ ህብረተሰባችን በጣም ይጠቅማልና ያስፈልጋል ብለን ስለምናምን እንግዲህ ካለን እናካፍል ብለን ነው አቤቱታ ያቀረብን ያለ ነው ይሄው ነው ያለኝ
ታንክ ዩ ፓስተር ጥያቄዎች እንደሚኖሩ ይገባኛል ግን እዚህ ቻት ቦክሱ ላይ የስልክ ቁጥርህን ብትጽፈው ሰዎች ያላቸውን ጥያቄ እየደወሉ መጠየቅ ይችላሉ ስለዚህ ይቅርታ ወደ 20 ደቂቃ አሳልፈናል እየጨረስኩኝ ነው ከዛ በፊት ሁላችሁንም በጣም ማመስገን ፈልጋለሁ እዚህ የተገኛችሁትን መታችሁ ስላዳመጣችሁን ሐሳባችሁን ስላካፈላችሁ ያንግ አዳልቶች አብረውን የነበሩትን በጣም አመሰግናለሁኝ ከዚህ በተረፈ ዶክተር አስኳል ሁሉ አብራነች ያለችው ተመሳሳይ ዲስከሽኖች ካሁን በፊት አድርጋለች ታንክ ዩ ዶክተር አስኳል በተለይ ደግሞ በጣም ደስ ያለኝ ዶክተር አስኳል ያደረገችውን የመጀመሪያ ኮቪድ-19 ላይ ያደረገችውን ፕሬዘንቴሽን ሰምቼ ስለነበር ረድቶኛል ስላለች ራሄል በጣም ደስ ብሎኛል እንዲህ ሰው ህይወት ላይ ደግሞ ለውጥ ሲያመጣ ስናየው በጣም ደስ ይላልና ጥሩ ነው ኢንካሬጅ ያደርጋል ሁላችሁም ከዶክተር አስኳል ጋር ዲስከስ ያደረጋችሁት ቴንክ ዩ ወደ ኋላ ተመልሳችሁ ያስተዋወሳችሁ ሼር ያደረጋችሁት ዋናው ሌላውን ለመርዳት ስለሆነ አመሰግናለሁኝ ታንክ ዩ ዶክተር ሮሰል ስንዲ ሰላም ዋሉ አይ ሆፕ የሚቀጥለው ጊዜ ፊት ለፊት ነው የምንተያየው መልካም ዊኬንድ ደህና ሁኑ
እግዚአብሔር ይስጥልን መልካም ቀን
ባይ እንደነች እንጂ ወይንጎስ እንደምን አለ ሰላም
ግርማ
ደህና እንደነሽ
ሃይቲታ
እንደነሽ ሳርጋሳክ ረባካሽ
ተስማምቷችኋል አብሮባችኋል አሸንፈነው ነው የምንገናኘው መልበሻ ቦታ ጠፋና ዛሬ የኢትዮጵያ ኮሚኒቲ ቁርስ ነው ብዬ ያበሻ ልብስ ለብሼ መንገድ
ደጋርሽ በሽነኝ
ግርማ እንዴት ነህ
ደህና ነኝ
ደህና እግዚአብሔር ይመስገን
ማን ነው እዚያ የሚያጨበጭው ቆያለ እዚያ
ከኋላ የሆነ ሰው እያጨበጨበ ነው አቶ ጌታቸው እንዴት ነህ አይጌትሽ የቀረው ሰው ሁሉ ወጣ መሰለኝ የተደበቀው ሁሉ መጥቷል በጣም ደስ ይላል በጣም
ኢትዮጵያ ኮሚኒቲ ስላገናኛችሁን ተመስገን እግዚአብሔር ይስጣችሁ
አዎ ልክ ነው
እናመሰግናለን
የሚሰሩት ስራ ድንቅ ነው በጣም ሰላም እንዴት ነህ